in their cram's holes. From fog to endless night, on their slag heap, these children wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass. Now he says that their life is going towards an endless night. This means that their future is full of darkness. These kids are so thin that they can easily see their bones through the thin layer of skin, and their skin is like the thin layer of cloth, and the bones beneath are visible. They are visible. The bones you can see beneath the through the skin. You can see these kids, why? Because these kids suffer from malnutrition. They wear spectacles which are made of steel. He says that their spectacles are made of steel. They are cheap and very uncomfortable. The spectacles which they wear are very cheap and uncomfortable, and even the lenses in the spectacles are repaired. They are repaired. He says that the spectacles are bones and spectacles of steels with mended glass. Mended means they are repaired. They are mended. They are repaired. And he says the spectacles look like stones which have been repaired with piece of glass sticking to them, like bottle bits on stones. Like bottle bits on stones. What do you mean by it? Means glass sticking out of them. They have the stones which have been repaired with the pieces of glass sticking out of them. Here the poet actually here the poet actually tries to explain that these kids have to face so many hardships in their lives, and as these slums are getting bigger, they will destroy the future of these children, and it is very difficult for such kids to escape from them. He says that all of their time and space are foggy slums, so blot their maps with slums as big as doom. Now blot means to mark with a spot. Blot means to mark with a spot, and doom is disaster. So the poet says that a day will come when it will destroy the future of these children, and it is very difficult for such kids to escape from them. They cannot escape. So he's a little bit worried about the children. If I talk about the literary devices, it is metaphor. Metaphor is in which line? Their homes are very small like holes. Their homes are very small like holes. So he has used metaphor. And then there is a simile. Simile where like bottle bits on stones. Like bottle bits on stones. So simile. Now again alteration. So use of F sound. F sound is from fog. Now the third. Let's switch on to the fourth paragraph, children. Unless governor, inspector, visitor, this mass becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. So, children, catacombs is a tomb, it's a cemetery. So the poet says that the government should take notice of the problems being faced by these kids. He urges them to change the lives of these kids and make the world map a reality for them. There is a need to break the restrictions which are put on them due to poverty and lack of resources. He says that there is that shut upon their lives like catacombs, break upon open till they break the town. He says that there is a need to break the restrictions which are put on them due to poverty and lack of resources. So he wants the governor and public to help these kids in achieving their dreams, as this will take them away from fog. It will take them away from fog to the azure. But children, what do you mean by azure? It means the deep blue sky. So it will take them from fog to deep blue sky. And the poet here wants to say that in this way, the kids can be taken away from the darkness of their present to a bright future. He says that Run azure on gold sands and let their tongues run naked into books. The white and green leaves open. History theirs whose language is sun. Now he says that he wants that these kids to experience the sands and the beauty of nature, as this will lead to a desire of what? Desire of gaining knowledge. They will then go through the white and green leaves. Here white leaves depict books. Children, be very careful. White leaves depict books and green leaves depict nature. This will then result in their progress. He says, in case if they pay attention to the white leaves, that means the books, and the green leaves means nature. So this will then result in their progress, and they'll be able to paint a bright future for themselves. He says then history theirs whose language is the sun. It means that this will then result in their progress, and they will be able to paint a bright future for themselves. Children, in this paragraph, he is talking about metaphor. Metaphor, books and nature are expressed in the form of white and green leaves. Metaphor is where he is talking about white and green leaves, because he is talking about the books. And the next one is anaphora, when he use of repeated words in two consequent line. Children, see the third and the second last line. Focus on the third last and the second last line. The word run. It is beginning with the run, with the word run. In case if we repeat the words in two consecutive lines, that figure of speech is anaphora. So in this it is anaphora. I suppose you have understood the poem line by line. So we were talking about an elementary school classroom in a slum. Children, it is written by Stephen Spender, yes, and he gives a vivid description of a school classroom in a slum and the children in the class. So he's basically talking about their problems, and further he wants the government system that they should make these slums a living one, and he requests the authorities to allow these children to go out of these slums, so that the maps on the walls of the classroom become a reality for them, and they should be taken to the green fields rather than to the dirty shabby houses. Okay children,